When Charlie Kirk died, I actually felt sick to the stomach because it felt like a part of myself had died with him. And I think a lot of people may have felt the same way. I don't speak for everyone, of course. I'm just talking about myself. And my whole channel, I would prefer to refrain from politics, but politics do play a big role in relationship settings. And I thought I should address politics in relationships because your political stance can reveal a lot about who you are as a person, your character, how you operate on a deep level. I typically identify more towards apolitical, neutral stances and much more conservative accepting. And on a personal level, I do despise leftism. Leftism has scarred me permanently in ways that I can't describe on this channel. My objective is to help people navigate their toxic problems, to help people attract a member of the opposite sex, especially if they're struggling with rejection. What I would like to say is that if you are left-leaning or if you are left extreme, the more difficult it is going to be for me to work with you and help anyone on that spectrum, because people who lean much more to the left see themselves in the assassin who assassinated Charlie Kirk. Every human being, it doesn't matter where you stand in life, we are all sinners. We all have darkness in us. Now, what separates good people from bad people is that bad people act on their impulses and good people choose not to. For anyone really cares, you could hate Charlie Kirk to the death. You could despise him. You could be Christian like me and hate the enemy team. But the difference between us is that one party acts on those impulses. You can just literally look up all the videos of the people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk and you can see the evil oozing out of these people. Evil is a real thing. Evil exists. Remember that Satan, the angel, was the most beautiful angel of all time. And so evil doesn't really like calling itself evil. It likes to call itself good. And it likes to call good things evil. And I don't really like throwing the word evil around too much because it can get very personalized. And literally, whatever spectrum or religion or stance you take, you could look at your enemy and label them as evil, which is not typically the best approach at solving conflict. And so it's very important to recall the story of the Good Samaritan. It is very crucial to love your enemy to the best of your ability. Which leans into my big point, is that if you want to attract a healthy and long-term relationship with a member of the opposite sex, I highly recommend you staying far away from the far left. Now, what do I mean you should stay away from the far left? Leftism is very destructive. It is typically not open to any type of critical thinking. It's not open to objective thinking. And areas in where critical thinking and objective thinking is extremely crucial would be areas such as medical. If you have massive health problems, or if you do not want to receive medications such as vaccinations or immunizations, the far left will compel you to accept vaccinations and immunizations against your will, especially if you have children. If you have children, the left, which is the predominant political stance in the Western culture, is going to always choose the side of vaccination and immunization. This means if you have a partner who is left-leaning and they are pro-vaccination or immunization, then you don't stand a chance at protecting your children. You don't stand a chance against the system. This isn't even about men versus women, who gets custody or whatnot. It's about making smart choices early on so that you know what will happen down the road if you make it the wrong choice now. If you choose someone who is left-leaning, who is pro-vaccination, that person is more than likely going to use everything within their power to ensure that the person who is in opposition to vaccination will be destroyed. And we're not just talking about pro-vaccination stance. You could still be conservative and believe in vaccination, but typically it's left-leaning people who really want this. And it's things such as abortion that they really love and praise. There's a strong anti-Russian agenda. There's a strong anti-Christian agenda. Or even worse, there's a pro-lockdown agenda, pro-COVID mask agenda. Just like when Nazi Germany was discriminating the Jews before the war, So were the leftists discriminating and dobbing in on their neighbors who went against the status quo. I was one of those very few people who went against the status quo. My goal isn't to preach political propaganda, but rather against it, particularly in the realm of your relationships. Because if you allow leftism to enter into your relationship, you have shot yourself in the foot. It won't even matter who's right or wrong, because the collective brain that is the leftist thinking will act in unison against you if you are an individual, if you are right-leaning, if you are apolitical, if you are neutral, if you're a freaking introvert. And you can see for yourself, people on the far, far left spectrum identify and see themselves in the assassin who assassinated Charlie Kirk. This tells you everything that you need to know about someone who identifies with that person. So many relationships have been crumbled by the left. So many children have been affected by leftism. Parents have been divided over who has custody, over what beliefs the children will have. Leftism is so pro-LGBT, Q+, etc., that is almost impossible to define what a woman is these days. It's not normal. Now, of course, I don't speak for everyone, and that's not my goal. I am an individual. I promote individualism. Also, this doesn't mean that there are no flaws on whatever opposite team. That's not what I'm saying. Because real, true relationships, it's just all about healthy versus unhealthy. A lot of the time, it's not even about the politics. The politics are just a major contributing factor to major irritation stimulation. The more you align and fixate yourself with a particular political stance, the less in line you are with the relationship. You're more married to your opinions. And the more vicious you are, and this is a typically left-leaning stance, the more that viciousness is going to wreak out of you. And so I highly encourage anyone who is left-leaning, especially if you're much more extreme, to seek God, to think critically, to ask questions, to challenge if what you know is true. I'm not a political debatist, so I'm not the person you're going to have to come to and ask questions and debate with. I'm just letting you know to look for those areas, to make informed decisions. The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make, and the same is true for your relationships. If you feel that my message has resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment down below the video. Feel free to reach out to me if you're personally struggling in some type of toxic dynamic where you'd like help in your relationship, where I can help give you some bullet points to help you moving forward in attracting your romantic interest. And share this video if you feel that this video was valuable to you or maybe valuable to them. Also, I'm not saying I'm perfect. We all make mistakes. Remember, we all have darkness. So it's really important that we're able to forgive each other. Some of us do the stupidest things, but we can overcome those. We just need to find a way how. And we can start loving others by loving ourselves.